Hi everybody, today I just want to come and show you how to begin your crochet if you're interested in crochet. The first thing you need to learn is how to do a slip knot, and the tools that you're going to need for this is some yarn. Right now I'm using worsted weight yarn and it's a medium weight yarn, and this color is Grenadine by Red Heart, and the color is Grenadine. And the yarn looks like a mess like this because it's actually attached to a project that I have been doing, and this is a beret that I was doing. I just have to complete the rim of it, and I was just using the end of it to show you how to get started in crochet. That is one of the projects that you would see, that you would get to do after following my courses. So the first thing you're going to do is to learn how to do a slip knot. Now, a slip knot is the beginning of just about any crochet pattern unless you're doing a magic knot, which you will get to later. And how I do my slip knot is that I take the free end of my yarn, whatever yarn you're using, and I wrap it around my index finger this way. I put it around my index finger, I bring it around, and I form an X, if you can see that. I continue right around, turning my finger down so that my palm is facing the surface, and now you see I have two loops on my finger. The first one is from the beginning of the X as I brought it around to form that X, and the second one at the bottom is the one that came around last, so to speak. So what we're going to do now, the object is to take the one at the bottom and bring it under the one at the top. Now there are two ways to do this. You can either use a crochet hook. This is a size H that I'm using, and this is by Susan Bates. I absolutely love this site because it has a grip that is very comfortable for me, but use whatever brand or whatever type of crochet hook you would like. I just recommend size H, especially size H or size I, if you are going to be learning crochet. Most of the projects that I'm going to teach you can be worked up very simply with just one crochet hook, which would be this one. So what we're going to do is to take the hook and we're going to push it under the top one and use the hook of the crochet hook to the hook end, to just pull that second one under while pulling your finger out, and continue pulling the yarn down, and you have your slip knot. Now the thing about a slip knot is that slip knots are so called because if you hold on either end of your thread and just pull it, the knot slips right out, just like that. So we're going to do that again. We're going to put the yarn on our finger, wrap it around, come down, and it's going to form what looks like an X. Continue around like this. And the second way you can do it, where the goal is to get this one under the first one, is to just slightly lift the first one and bring it down over the second one. And this is the second one here. This is the top one right here. And then hold the second one and pull it up with your finger while holding the remaining yarn in your whichever hand it is. In my case, it's my left hand, and you've created your slip knot. Now to tighten your slip knot, all you do is to pull on the working end of the yarn, not the free end. The free end will make it loose, the working end will tighten it. So if you pull on the free end of the yarn, it will come nice and snug onto the crochet hook. You don't want it too tight. And now we are going to try to work a chain. Now what I want you to look at is how I'm holding my crochet hook. Now everybody holds theirs differently. Do what is comfortable for you. The way that I normally hold mine is that the flat part of my crochet hook, which you can see here, you can actually see the name on it, Susan Bates, and the flat part, I normally put my thumb on that and my index finger on the back. And when I'm crocheting, you'll see that my index finger and my middle finger of my right hand is actually stabilizing the crochet hook. It's almost like I'm writing. It's almost like a pencil for me. With my left hand, because I'm right-handed, with my left hand, what I'll do is to make sure with my right hand, I'll make sure that the free end of the yarn is out of the way. And with my left hand, I will make sure that I hold on to the knot just to stabilize it, especially in the beginning when you're going to need some sort of support to get your initial chains through. So now to start a chain, what you'll see me do, my thread almost always finds itself between my ring finger of my left hand and my middle finger. And then it comes over. It comes over my index finger like this. So it goes kind of like over my ring finger, under my middle finger, and over my index finger. And I'm going to hold the knot with my thumb and my middle finger, and with the crochet hook. The best way I can describe it to you is that you take the crochet hook and you push the thread away from you. You're not necessarily pushing it, but that is the action that I would like you to take. So you have the crochet hook. If you have the crochet hook in your right hand, the crochet hook will be to the left of the yarn, and you kind of push that away from you, bring it around, and let the hook of the crochet hook grab that yarn, and you pull it through, and that is one chain. Now this motion that I've just taught you is called a yarn over. So you'll find that you push it backward, kind of push it away from you, bring the hook around, let it capture that yarn under the hook there, and pull it through the hole. So let's go again. And you'll find it's easier now that you are moving away from the knot. So far we have 2 chains. Can you see those? They're 2, 1 and 2. They look kind of like a braiding pattern, and it looks as if there is a loop kind of on the left and one on the right, and a loop on the left and one on the right. So you take the crochet thread, the yarn, and the hook. You take it and you kind of make a motion as if you're pushing the yarn away from you. Bring it around, hook the yarn with the hook, and pull it through the hole. And you continue like that. Practice makes perfect. One of the other things I would like you to note, and I'm going to talk to you about tension here, is that you don't want a situation where you have like huge loops, huge chains, and some are a lot more tight. You will see in a situation like this that this is a lot more loose. This end here is a little bit more rigid, actually is staying pretty much straight. If I let this go, this side is going to drop down because it's loose. You don't want it like this, because what it's going to do is to mess with your tension and your gauge, and your patterns will be off. If you ever make a mistake in crochet, what you do is that you just hold on the end of your working yarn and you pull it, and it would unravel those stitches that you would have made until you get to where you want to go to continue or to pick back up your work. So we're going to make 15 chains, and the reason that we're going to make 15 chains here is because in the next video series of beginner's crochet, I'll be teaching you how to do a single crochet, and then we're going to work up, in my case, what might be a swatch, but you might want to continue on to make it into maybe something resembling a dishcloth, especially if you're working with a cotton yarn or something like that. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains, and I want to work it up to 15. So I have 9 more to go. So I'm going to do my 9 more, my 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I have 15 in all, and you'll see it looks kind of like a braid. Now one of the things that I want you to look at is at the back of your thread. You're going to realize that there are actually 3 loops that make up the chain. There is one on the right side, one on the left side, but if you look at the back of it, you will see that there is a third one that you don't normally see, and I hope that you can see this clearly. there is a stitch that goes horizontally through or vertically, depending on how you're holding your work, horizontally through the chains that keeps it together, that anchors the chain. So it's really three pieces, one, two, and the one in the middle. Okay, that becomes kind of important in a minute, but so far we've done the slip knot and you've done the chain. You can unravel it as much as you want and you can start over again. Just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. And when you are comfortable with making your chains and you've done 15, what I'm going to want you to do then is to just view the next video in the series, which is how to do the single crochet. So I'm going to go right back and I'm going to make my chains again. Remember to hold it however you feel comfortable, and your chains, you're tending to kind of move the yarn away from you. Bring the hook around in such a way that it grabs that yarn under the hooked end of the crochet hook, and that allows you to bring it through the hole. Okay, so just continue like that. You don't want your work too tight that you can't get the yarn through, and you don't want it too loose. So continue to practice, create your 15 chains, and then meet me back in the next video for the single crochet. Thank you and God bless. Bye bye.